Hello. Um, Happy spring again. I say this especially because we have just one hexagram for this weekend, and it is hexagram 1, penetration. Boom. The mature masculine, the ultimate yang, the clear, bright yang. And notice that it's penetration, not penetrated, not penetrate. Penetration requires no object. It simply is penetrating. It's simply that force of nature, kind of like hexagram 2, the yin is homing. It requires, again, no object. It simply is that magnetic pull, that homing signal that reverberates through everything all the time, whether you're turning away from it or not. Penetration. Hexagram. So what is our collective? Sorry, it is springtime. What do you want from me? I am merely flesh and blood woman. So yes, our collective aging reading for this weekend is hexagram 1, penetration with no changing lines. So grab your sun hat, put on your sunglasses, and know where your shade is, because shit's about to get bright. Illumination, animation, inspiration. Look at all those solid yang lines there. Coming on through like a freight train. Penetrate the womb of the world and be subsumed by the holy throb. That sounds fun. Penetration animates and arouses. The high pressure pole invites the low, the prerequisite for thunder. Penetration is generous. The yang is very generous. The immature masculine takes, is extractive, but yang gives. Penetration is the summoning hum you hear with your skin from the first day you wear a summer dress. You are free and fully lit, open to every breeze and beam. The light doesn't stop at your skin. It runs all the way through you. You take it all the way in. How could you not? You're in it, of it, a wavy little particle that left the sun 8 minutes ago and just got here. Where is here anyway? Should you have stopped at Venus? It was so cloudy. For all its power, to block the penetrating light, all you have to do is hold up your hand. You have all that power in your hands, just like you have the power to make wind. You are of the elements, in the elements, all the time. Why are you turning away? Because you don't want to be responsible. I had a lot of great client interviews today and like client meetings, and I'm just like, spring. So this hexagram feels super right for me, but this was not my reading. This was for the collective. I do differentiate. For all its power to block the penetrating light, all you have to do is hold up your hand. You have all that power in your hands. The stone penetrates the pond and ripples out. The stone too is in your hands. Do you know how much penetrating light you can handle before you get burned? Do you know how to find shade before you wilt? Do you have sunglasses to wear when dazzled? Did you bring a hat? Light seeds form and forms emerge in accordance with causes and conditions. What do you need, baby? Particle or wave? Yang provides. This is the masculine pole, not in personal gender terms, but as a generative, penetrative force of nature. This pole, when fully embodied, is powerfully responsive to the next right thing, capable of containing and directing himself and others toward flourishing. He can walk into Walgreens and penetrate the whole place. He holds out his hot slice of life force until mouths open. He can wait. Penetration is generous like that. He doesn't need to force feed his hot slice into mouths that are not open. If you want some of that hot slice, open your mouth. This video is going to get age restricted, isn't it? What a world. When ungrounded and undernourished, penetration becomes the manic go, more now go of always be hustling. When this power rips and writhes unheld like an untended fire hose, it makes a mess. Not just for us, for every being. A mess too big to mop. Penetration is a force of nature, like penetrating insight. It's not a concept and it requires no object. Nothing actually needs to be penetrated for penetration to persist. Just as plants need no concept of sun to grow, they feed on penetration without hesitation. They surrender to the forces of day. Penetration is not performance. A lot of people get confused about that. No need to dress it up and put it on stage. It simply is. It simply, deeply does. Penetration animates and arouses. It's the Big Bang spark igniting splendor, the primordial yes. Nice. That is very ecologically emergent of this moment of springtime in the Northern Hemisphere. Now, with the first two, I've added in my book, Oracle of Emergence, available on Amazon, Oracle of Emergence and Evolutionary I Ching. If you would like a private reading, come to my website, reihance.com. If you'd like a one-on-one, that's in the same place. And if you'd like to partake of my pocket coaching program via WhatsApp, you can also sign up for that there. In the first two hexagrams, I actually have broken down to when there's no changing lines and when there are all changing lines. I don't think in every hexagram that's wildly significant, but I think in these first two that are these incredibly potent poles, if you will, that it is actually important to look at when there's no changing lines and when there's all changing lines in either direction from 2 to 1, 1 to 2. That is a lit field. So with no changing lines on hexagram 1, insight untempered by compassion. There's no yin in here. This is all yang. So beware withering cruelty and fatal hubris if there are no transforming lines here. Preserve nuance as delusion is lasered off. Preserve nuance as delusion is lasered off. So yeah, penetration holds the sword. There's not really a rose bloomed yet where I live to hold to balance out that sword. So as delusion is lasered off, don't stray too far away from that yin force and let the kettle burn empty. There's no reason to let all the tissues dry out. You can enjoy this beautiful weekend of penetration without letting the kettle burn empty. Replenishment will come again. But for this weekend, penetration is all. I'll see you on Monday for our weekly reading. Have a beautiful